Hi, my name is Luis Feliciano, currently a film student at Full Sail University taking art history class. I'm here with local musician Luke Vizi, and I have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
What do you see as the role of the visual arts in our mass mediated world, and particularly in your profession?
I think in my profession as a musician, it plays a big part of mediated imagery because with every CD that a consumer buys, they go and they get the CD itself, of course, but they also get a case with a leaflet with artwork on it, and in its own right, that artwork has its own value because you can take an example of looking at something really old like a Beatles album, an old record, and people sometimes will pay tons of money for that artwork in there because it's just as important to the fact of the matter that yes, there's the music, but there's also an image, and one of the biggest images is that album artwork, so it's huge in my industry.
Cool. With new communications and media technologies, imagery is almost instantly available. Do you believe that this is having a positive or negative influence on the industry?
I think that this issue is a little bit more of a double-edged sword because at one time, on one sense of the thing, I should say, where educationally it's a good thing because a lot of us in the past used to have to go and look up things in libraries and go through and borrow books, and now it's all available right at the click of a button. Um, it's good for education in that sense for students and people using it for that, but at the same time you have to think in the sense of the artist. So for an example, myself as a musician, we struggle, to do well a lot because of illegal downloading and streaming. And I think that because imagery is so available, anyone could go up and, have a favorite artist, but pull all their artwork up right in front of them. And they may do that and forget that, the whole point is to look at it in person and to get the actual feel. And they're not going to these gallery showings where, you do actually pay like $10 to get in, but, you're paying for that actual visceral experience, and that's something that I think is getting a bit lost and translates right into my profession with legal downloading. But I think, in that sense, it also shows the darker side to it. So it's a good thing and it is a bad thing.
I agree. What popular images do you see that are frequently rechanneled throughout the entertainment industry?
Oof, well, there's a ton of them. Anytime you see a commercial for a movie, you're seeing, an image of the production company. You're seeing LucasArts or, Lionsgate and things like this, and you know them less for the actual name. A lot of people may not be able to even spell the name of them, but they'll tell you exactly what the logo looks like. So I think that the role it plays is huge, and I think that it's something that is more of since a lot of entertainment is taken in, in my industry through your ears auditorily. It's the visual cue. It's the second half of the equation that draws you in, and without it, everything would kind of be lost.
That's really interesting. Are there popular images that your industry has created?
The music industry has a ton of popular images. There are a lot of artists with logos that you'll know right away. You see the No Doubt, logo or name. You know that it's coming with something flashy and huge, or even you look at record labels, and each of them has a logo. And when you go into the store as a consumer, you're looking through CDs and you see, a Capitol Records logo on the bottom of the CD. You're going to be drawn to that one more because your brain subconsciously realizes that these people are really legit. This company is really good. This product's probably going to be really good. Let me not look at this other CD. I'm going to look at this, and that's it plays almost like a big subliminal part that people are almost not privy to. But in my industry, it's something that we as musicians think about, our producers think about, and it's a big deal.
Who is a favorite visual artist, and or what is your favorite style of visual art?
Hmm. You know, I guess I'm a little biased being a musician, but my favorite visual artist is actually the lead singer from the band called Incubus, Brandon Boyd, because people don't realize this, but they put out a song quite a while ago called Drive, and it's more of an acoustic song, and it's something that everybody could relate to. It's almost like the modern day version of a song like Wonderwall for Oasis. But the reason that he's my favorite visual artist And something that I would like people to know is that he did that whole video. So the video, everybody tuned in before school at 9 a.m. before they went and saw Olive Drive and got psyched up because it was beautiful and flowing and everything. All the artwork was his, and he sat down and did that video, and it was real. And the reason that he's my favorite visual artist is because as a musician, he's bridged the gap to me doing something like that, of saying, here's my song, and I know exactly what it means to me and how it sounds and how everything. But he also said, this is how it looks in my mind, and this is how it translates. And I was able to almost get it because I do a little bit of art myself, but nothing professional. And it's interesting to see somebody do something so professional and have it relate to you on a level that's real, and true. And that you could be like, wow, this song not only sounds great to me, but in my head, every time I see it, I see your video, I see the art that was supposed to be there, and it looks beautiful too.
Wow. I know exactly what video you're talking about.
Yeah.
How has your knowledge of famous artworks influenced your creative process?
That's an interesting question. Like as you know, we've gone over I'm a musician, but I've taken a lot of art classes, and actually took in high school. I went to a private high school, so I took half music theory courses and half art history, and art studio is what they called it. It's called studio art. I took 4 years of it, but throughout that whole process, I didn't so much use the class as developing myself in art, but it was how I would let the art of famous painters that I would see, Renoir and Van Gogh and Picasso, and how I would let that speak to me, and really what it would do for me is it would come out lyrically. For instance, the famous Van Gogh painting, Starry Night. A lot of times, if I have more of a song that's kind of mellow, my brain automatically cues into the wavy motions of the clouds and the brightness of the stars, and it's very mellow yet still stands out, and it's so famous. Everybody gets drawn to it, and I'll be honest, there are quite a few songs that I have that don't really, you can't tell on face value that they were kind of inspired by like a painting like Starry Night or something like that, but that's where the inspiration came from, and that's how art has affected me, because it translates into my mind more poetically or lyrically than anything else.
Wow. Well, that was an interesting perspective on the art world from local musician Luke Vizi. Thank you for being here and being interviewed, and
Thank
thank
you
you
for
for your
having me.
thoughts.